To add fizz of motivation to your day. Morning, I'll be there. 9 minutes motivation at 9 a.m. Be with me.
Now the next degree goes to Sri Deepak Shinde from Bangalore. Deepak Shinde is the founder and chairman of Kingdom College.
Hey world, 9 minutes motivation at 9 a.m. is inspired by me and sponsored by the Kingdom College. I'm Deepak here, and my life is beautiful, and I stay on top of the world because I work as worship. There's a very beautiful moment in the life of Amitabh Bachchan where he mentioned somewhere I read he had just hit his stardom and he was the latest superstar of the country. And one of those times he was flying in an aeroplane. As he entered the aeroplane, almost everybody recognized him, waved hand at him, flying kisses, and all those, when a superstar enters, how do you respond? Amitabh Bachchan went and sat where his seat was allocated. And next to him was an elderly gentleman, very dressed, simple shirt and pants. And he seemed to be very oblivious of all these things, continued to read what he was reading. Amitabh Bachchan felt little strange because he is a superstar of the country and this man seems to give no attention. So Amitabh Bachchan sat down next to him where his seat was allocated. Flight took off. Just to hit a conversation, Amitabh Bachchan asked this gentleman, "Do you watch movies?" That elderly gentleman said, "Yeah, once in a year, not much. I'm not a movie freak. I don't watch movies much." I said, "Do you watch Hindi movies?" Somehow Amitabh Bachchan wanted him to recognize that he was sitting next to Amitabh Bachchan. Said, "Yeah, I like Hindi movies also, but I don't have that craze towards it. Once in a year I watch it. And that's about it. Little talks here and there." And as the flight landed back in Mumbai, as they're getting down, got down, Amitabh Bachchan approached this gentleman and said, "Nice to have flight with you. I am Amitabh Bachchan." And he forwarded his hand. And the gentleman, simple dressed, looked back at him and said, "Oh wow, that's nice to meet you. I am JLD Tata." And he shook hands with Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan says, He never felt so weak holding the hands of JRD because throughout the flight he was thinking, I am superstar of this country, sitting next to a common man, not realizing that actually he was sitting next to a genius. This country will, or the world will never forget JRD Tata, the one who pioneered flying in India. And I said it was such an humbling experience. And after that, I could never carry the air of my stardom wherever I went because I realized I flew all the way till Mumbai in that flight, sitting next to one of the greatest industrialists this country has ever seen or the world has ever seen. That I missed an opportunity to learn so much from the man. So never judge anybody by the way they dress up or the way they look. What I want to discuss and share with all of you today is this: success can be our worst enemy. Because if success gets into our head, that's called ego. Success should never sense, no, should never feed a sense of ego. Success should always feed a sense of responsibility. And every time in this world, people who have hit big success and they're not able to handle success because there are so many programs, discourses, books written on how to handle failures, but there is not a single book written on how to handle success. That is why a lot of people achieve success but cannot hold on to success for a long time because that gets into their head and starts feeding their ego. And once it starts feeding your ego, you keep craving for more and more attention, more and more attention, and then you start focusing more on gaining attention and not on giving performances or the results, and that's how they fall. The most amazing lesson to learn from the life of Sachin Tendulkar is this: so many people who played or who started with him couldn't survive the longevity which Tendulkar survived because the most greatest quality of Sachin Tendulkar was not his cricketing shots, cricketing brain, but the heart filled with humility. Even on the last match when he played, the first thing he did was, after finishing his innings, he went down to the pitch, bowed down, touched the pitch with his head, kissed it, said thank you. In fact, the kind of player he is, every cricket ground should feel blessed that this ground has been blessed by Tendulkar playing on it. It is very easy to go on top. That's success. But what is most difficult part is to stay on top. Your attitudes, maybe sometimes that little arrogant attitude also might help you to reach on the top. But for you and me to stay on the top for a lifetime, only thing that is required is humility. The more and more you stay humble when you're on top, the chances of you staying on the top is much, much higher. Otherwise, the speed at which you went high, faster than that, you will drop down and fall down in life if you don't know how to stay grounded. Hands, ask the legs. Everybody falls at your feet, touches your feet. Nobody gives any demand and attention to us. Why is it so? And the legs replied, because we always stay grounded. They fall at our feet. तुम तो पूरा टाइम हवा में घूमते रहते हो ना. You're all the time in the air. So nobody comes to you. If you want the world at your feet, then you have to stay grounded. And the only way to stay grounded is to be humble and practice humility in every breath of yours. If you try to fly high, not only one day you'll drop down dead, nobody is going to give you attention. With this belief of humbleness and humility in every breath of our life, let's start the day. Love you so much. I believe I can. I believe I am. So, guys, go, set, and grow.